We have been aggressively going after timeshare fraud. However, we need tougher legislation to continue this. And
clearly there's a problem, and the Attorney General reached out to myself, to Representative Eisnaugle, and asked us if we'd be interested in being a part of this. Just to put it in some perspective, I represent the Central Florida area, and Central Florida has more timeshares than I think any other place in the country. And so when we're dealing with what could potentially be fraud or the lack of disclosure, it's important that the residents of this state, but also residents all around the country that want to retire here and be a part of the Floridian dream, know that they're not being taken advantage of. So,
you know, to me, this is a pretty simple question. Should consumers be told the truth? You know, we all believe that people in a free society, they ought to be able to make their own decisions on what they want to buy and things of that nature. But people ought to be told the truth. They shouldn't be defrauded. And all too often, what we've seen in these situations is somebody is lied to. They're told there's already a buyer. The money is paid over, and then the bad actor literally disappears with the money. And that is not good for our economy. It's not good for the market in Florida, and it's certainly not good or fair for consumers. And so one of the things that this bill is going to do, and I believe that it ought to do, is provide some protection for consumers to make sure that we stop these bad actors from taking large amounts of money from folks and then just disappearing.
The Timeshare Resale Accountability Act represents the most comprehensive piece of legislation in the United States today, aimed at reining in unscrupulous companies whose deceptive practices taint the integrity of the timeshare industry. This legislation will, among other things, require timeshare resale companies to disclose all the terms and conditions of their business relationship with timeshare consumers, give consumers the right to rescind a contract for timeshare resale services, strengthen penalties for those companies who continue their fraudulent practices, and provide ways to protect timeshare owners and homeowners associations from one of the fastest growing issues in the timeshare industry today, and that of timeshare transfer and rescue companies.
If Florida is to jumpstart its economy, it's essential to revitalize the tourism industry and to revitalize the retirement industries in Florida. We believe this legislation will demonstrate Florida's a good faith effort to protect vulnerable populations and industries from exploitation and to protect them from protect their financial security, and to demonstrate that Florida is a welcoming place for businesses and retirees, but it is an unwelcome place for those who choose to misrepresent, fraud, and perpetrate scams.
Because you know what these scam artists do? They say, give us your money up front. And so this just gives us the tools we need to shut them down faster and put them out of business, because they're growing like crazy throughout our state. These boiler rooms is what I call them. I hate to even call them legitimate businesses.